Welcome to the channel, guys. Today we have a Dell board and the model number is Loveland-skl MB and 14291-1 is the board number. The problem is it is not turning on. Somebody has already tried this board. There is a flux across the BIOS chip. It's a 16 MB BIOS which we have to prepare ourselves and then we have to program it. So my suspicion is on the BIOS itself, but let's try to find where is the problem and try to sort it out. Hopefully we can repair it or maybe not. So let's see if we can repair this board. So let's have a quick look on the board through microscope. So at the DC jack area, board looks intact here this side. On the win section, no corrosion, nothing, everything is okay. Controller side, everything looks fine. V core, so we don't see any corrosion, any burning component over here. On the other side, HDD connector, nothing seems problematic. Nearby the processor, okay, so it seems everything is intact, only the BIOS part. 3.35 volts, I think the IC is that side. There is a paint, there is something on the IC, but I think it's okay. But if you look at the BIOS, nearby the BIOS, here you can see the work has been done and the flux is clearly visible. So we found that there is no corrosion, nothing on the board except the BIOS IC. Now what we'll do is we will check out the coils on the board and then we will inject the voltage, the second part. Okay, but before that I would like to tell you that there was a voice issue on my previous video. It's happening because the mic has gone faulty and I'm not able to repair it. Soon I'm going to purchase this type of mic or I'll be changing the camera itself. So if anything, if you want to inform me about the video quality, please write a comment and let me know. Now let's measure the impedance on the coils before we do something. So here is the RAM coil. Okay, there is no beep. I thought there is a beep, but there is no beep, but the value is 228 ohms. Now on the 3.35 volts coil, so 5 volts it's showing 1268 and 3.3 is around 800 900. And then the processor coil, so here we are getting beep and the impedance is 004, here 004, the PCH side 006, here 024. I think it's very less resistance here. It could be faulty as well, but we do not know. It's a suspected area now, but yet we will try programming the BIOS first and then we will check it out whether this is the problem or this is the problem. But the impedance is below 10, it may be faulty, it may be not. And at the battery charging side, at the battery coil, here also there is no beep, there is no value is coming, the value is not coming, but there is no beep. So overall we have a suspicion on the processor and the BIOS chip. The first thing, we will inject the voltage and see what is the condition of the board, and then we will try to program the BIOS. I already have this BIOS which I have prepared earlier. Now let's inject the voltage and check it out. So here is the 19 volts. Okay, as soon as we insert the 19 volts, the ampere is going to 0.01, and after that again it goes back to 0. That means for a while the voltage is coming in and then suddenly it goes, whereas the Dell board will start if there is no CMOS battery present. But let me show you once and then we'll measure the voltage. So guys, here you can see as soon as I plug the charger, it goes to 0.01, and after that again it goes to 0. So I think in this case even the 3.35 volts is getting built, but after that nothing is happening. So let's measure the voltage. So on the DC jack we are getting 19 volts. Here is a 19 volts lane, and on the CLR 19.2, here 19.2. That means this lane is working fine. And then if you check it out on the 5 volt coil, no voltage present. However, the voltage should be present if you connect the DC jack. If you connect the 19 volts at the BIOS pin, no voltage, no voltage at all. Now let's check it out on the 3.35 volt IC. Here is the IC. If you look in the schematic, I already have a schematic of this. So LDO on this IC is pin number 3. So we are getting the LDO, as you can see here. LDO is coming on this IC. LDO is coming on this IC. Then we have pin number 13, this cap. Here also we are getting 5 volts LDO. Now let's check the power button voltage once. So as per the schematic, the power button is PWR1. PWR1. So pin number 2 is the power button. So if we check the power button, pin number 2, we are getting 3 volt. Here you can see, here you can see you are getting at the pin number 2 3 volts. Now if we check it out, if we check out on the controller, okay, so it is coming to pin number 127 of this controller. So let me check it out. We can check without microscope itself, because our controller will be having 128 pins, and if you start from here, this is the end 128, and before that is 127. So let me check. Yes, we are getting 2.9, and if I try to short it, let's see whether it is getting trigger or not. So I'm keeping the probe at the 127 pin of this controller, and now tweezer I'm going to short pin number 2 of this power button. So you can see it is getting triggered, but there is no rise on the ampere on the DC. So the doubt is on the BIOS first. We will do the BIOS, then we will find out if there is a problem with the processor itself. That means the voltages are coming here, but after this there is a problem. Like if I take out the charger for a while, and then if I keep my probe on the 3.35 volt coil and then I connect it, you will be able to see the voltage for blink of an eye 3.3, and then it goes. The same thing was on the 5 volts as well. Okay, the first time it is coming, and after that immediately it is not coming. So that means it is going to S3 level, and after that something is not happening. or maybe the processor itself is a faulty. So let's program the BIOS and then see if things changes, or it will be confirmed the processor is the faulty. Now let's do the BIOS. So I have programmed the BIOS. Okay guys, so the BIOS has been programmed. Now let's connect to the power. So if I connect the power, still the same condition. This was the ME clean BIOS. Now if we short it with the multimeter, pin number 2, nothing happens. It was the ME clean BIOS. You can see if I touch the pin number 2, nothing happens on the DC. So guys, we have done the BIOS with the ME clean region, but the problem remains same. Now let us know where is the problem. Is it the controller itself, or the processor itself, or the processor is faulty? Hopefully we'll make another video on this, whether the controller is faulty or the processor chip itself is the faulty. Kindly let me know what you can suggest me on this if you know better. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.